Hello everyone, the Duke here, and today I'll be talking about NieR Automata. I recently beat the game, and it's one of the most interesting and intriguing experiences I've had in gaming probably since Darkwood, which I actually bought around the same time. I purchased the game when it released, I played through it one time, then my Steam saves got reset, and I didn't touch it for about 4 years. Upon playing it again, however, I was pleasantly surprised and just wanted to make a video about my favorite parts, and also in case you were interested in researching the game and wanted a place to start, you know what you're getting into. So the gameplay has some very unique features. This game is in the third person. However, it can transition to top-down to side-scroller very seamlessly. It's something I've never seen in a game, and while the controls sometimes are a little wonky when you transfer because, well, you might think that you're going left but you're actually supposed to go up. It's a little weird in some cases, but overall, it's just a really cool feature that I wish more games like this would implement. Hacking in this game is very gamey, which I like, because a lot of games try to make it realistic, which isn't bad, but I like it when games sort of embrace the fact that they are games, and why not just make it a little mini game that, you know, it's not realistic per se, but it fits in with the wild strangeness of this whole universe, which I'll explain more when I talk about the story. If you've never played a Platinum Games game before, it's very fast-paced. The combat can be a little daunting to get used to because there's a lot of mechanics, as you have the pod which can shoot and do special attacks, and then of course you have combos that you can do and you can dodge. For me, it was a little difficult to balance them, but I got the hang of it after a little while, and I think that's one of the reasons I didn't enjoy it as much the first time I played it because, well, I really didn't know what I was doing. The sound design in this game is phenomenal. Each area has a different soundtrack, and some of those soundtracks change as you progress through the story depending on what's happening, and it really helps set the mood, especially during story critical points. Something cool is that when you go into hacking mode, the soundtrack changes to an 8-bit variant. Once you get out of it, it changes back, and it's just a really cool detail that I love that they added. The voice acting in this game is phenomenal. 9S's performance probably stood out of all the characters. Not saying that theirs wasn't good, but his performance, I think it was Kyle McCarley, who voiced him, just stood out to me. If you want a brief rundown of the story, in the far future, humans and aliens wage a proxy war. The machines are of the aliens, and the androids are of the humans, and the androids are coming down from space to retake Earth. I don't really want to go more into detail because I feel like you should experience it for yourself, but that's the basic concept. The characters are very well written, you can, well, understand a lot of their plight, which I guess is another thing. The side quests in this game were actually good, because a lot of games, the side quests just feel like, oh, I just need to level up, or, oh, I have to do this because the game wants me to. I think it's because the world is just so unique, and I just found myself wanting to know more about this really weird world. The side quests aren't, you know, game-changing, but they do a really good job at kind of filling in the world and just connecting you more to it. There's only a couple that I would say are, well, not great and they feel kind of cheap, but overall really good. So one thing about this game is that it requires multiple playthroughs to get the full experience. Now when I first heard that, I was just I rolled my eyes basically, because whenever you hear a game that says, oh, you have to do multiple playthroughs, it sounds like, oh, you guys were too lazy to have enough content, so you just decided to make me replay the game multiple times. That's not the way it is. I think you're supposed to play the game a total of 5 times. However, 3 of those times are with a different character. I mean, the last 2 are completely separate, like they're more for the endings. But the 3 times you play through it, you play as a different character, and while you play the same events, you get different perspectives on them. Like one character, while you were in this area in the first playthrough, you get to see what the other character was doing, and as well as that, you'll get to see kind of what the other character experiences, and it fleshes out the world more as you get flashbacks and other things that you didn't get when you played it the first or second time. It's a very good way of doing it, because I can't think of a game that, once again, made it where the multiple playthroughs doesn't feel like a complete slog, at least to me, because, I don't know, multiple playthroughs just always felt very lazy to me. The art design in this game, very interesting. I'm glad that they didn't make any convoluted things like, why are the androids dressed this way? Oh, it's because, I mean, okay, they did kind of, but like they didn't try to make it as realistic as possible. They just said, this is why it is in this universe, which I think is a really good way of doing it, especially if you're having such a unique style. You should stick with it and not try to make it as realistic as possible, because, I mean, come on, this game is incredibly wild. Why would you try to do that? Overall, I wanted to make this video once again because it was just such a unique and refreshing experience like Darkwood, which if you want to know about that game, I'd highly recommend watching Mandalore Gaming's video about that. That's just another one that basically caught me completely off guard, because I was expecting when I got into NieR just kind of a fun hack and slash with a little bit of in-depth thing about the human condition, but I got a game that had a lot of philosophy in it that I actually understood, because I feel like a lot of games, when they try to do stuff like that, or stories in general, it completely goes over my head. Take Neon Genesis Evangelion, which, I mean, yeah, I get some people get it, but I didn't understand that at all, I'm sorry. But getting back on point, if you were interested in this game and you just wanted to kind of get a brief summary of it and what my favorite parts of it were, I hope this video helped, and, well, I definitely would recommend playing it, because it's just, like I said, it was just one of those unique and refreshing experiences that I haven't had in a long time. It took me about 30 hours to beat, and the game is on Steam for $40. I mean, it has been out for a few years. I would probably wait for a sale, as I do with most games, but it's definitely worth your time if you were going to buy it at this price. Well, this has been the Duke, and I'm going to go back to playing Dark Souls Remastered. Ugh. I'll be signing off.